Welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast with your hosts, Kathy Gruver and Terrie Huberman.
Well, hello there. I'm Terrie, and welcome to the Intentional Awakening Podcast.
And I am your co-host, Kathy Gruver. And before we dive into today's topic, we're going to start, as we do, with an angel card. And today's angel card is not... Oh, there it is. Ooh, I like this one. Vision.
Vision.
Vision. And what's hilarious is the ones on the computer have like more expanded little pictures. So if you have the angel cards, like the physical ones, there's like one little thing. This says vision, and then there's an angel with their hand over one eye looking at a chart, and it says soul, sight, and future on the card.
Oh my God.
And it says, look at the world with your soul sight. Use your imagination, inner sense, and peripheral promptings to see the bigger picture and shape the future you desire.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's so good.
Vision. Okay. Thank you, angels.
It's just so cute, just reading. It's so adorable. So we're going to talk today about a subject that is the bane of many, many people's existence.
Many.
I was right there with you. And
Same.
It is meditation.
Dun, dun.
I'm a little type A. I don't know if you all noticed. I'm from the East Coast originally, so I walk fast, I talk fast, I eat fast, I think fast. And people would say to me, you should meditate, you should meditate, you should meditate. First of all, any sentence that starts with you should, very bad. Don't start a sentence that way. It's very accusatory. It's a little judgy. Have you considered? What do you know about? Have you thought about? But here's the problem for me. No one told me what meditation was or how to do it or what the purpose was or why. And I tried, but I had these misconceptions about meditation. I thought you had to sit with your legs crossed, had that part down, dancer, got the sit cross-legged down. You touched a finger together and I didn't know which one. And I thought like if you touched the wrong one, you got sucked into a like alternate realm, like a video game or something. That was terrifying. And then you had to like look back here, but your eyes were closed. It always gave me a headache. And then you put your tongue somewhere, roof of the mouth, back of the teeth, I don't know. And then if it itched, you couldn't scratch it. And if it cramped too bad, and then you floated away into a million bubbles. I sucked
That's
at
a
it.
lot of bubbles.
That's a lot of bubbles. And I sucked at it because something would pop into my head because every 3 to 5 seconds, our brain has something important to tell us. And if it doesn't, it just makes shit up. You'll think about your high school guinea pig, or I wonder what's for dinner, or what is that noise, or has my foot always felt like that? This is what our brain does. I think, therefore I am. Really mad he said that, but it's true. We find our identity and our ego finds its beingness through thought. So to blank out our brains is really, really hard. But I will tell you my thought on meditation, which is you don't have to blank out your brain. And whoever said that, I'd like to have a conversation with them, because that's not what meditation is. Meditation is being with your thoughts and letting them pass through. It is watching the thoughts and letting them go. If you can have spaciousness between your thoughts, that's amazing. But every expert, including Thich Nhat Hanh, who I studied with, said he had days he couldn't meditate because thoughts were interfering and he couldn't stop thinking. And I'm like, dude, you have one job, which is to sit around and meditate. So if he has days that he had trouble, we can be gentle with ourselves because it's a meditation practice. It's not a meditation perfect. And just like when you're at the airport and you see the bags go by, you don't pick up every bag. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's mine. It's the same thing with thoughts. Let them pass by. You do not have to attach to them. Just because I'm holding this pen doesn't mean I'm a pen. I get to put it down. Same thing with our thoughts. I've just done my entire stress lecture about meditation in that little blurb because I do this all the time. Did you tell it sounded a little too like, yeah. But this is one of the things I teach, right? The teachers that I've been studying with recently are like, meditate, don't meditate. I don't really care. So this sort of almost new view on awakening is if that works for you, do that. And if it doesn't, it's like a buffet. Take what you need and leave the rest behind. So there's my quick blah, blah, blah on meditation. Terrie.
Take it away, Terrie.
Take it away, Terrie.
Okay, so I also teach meditation, but I teach it alternatively because the majority of my clients, they're very overthinky, right? Which means there's going to be a ton of thoughts, right? So I deal with a lot of cerebral people. And I don't know if you've noticed, Kathy, but when you're dealing with cerebral people, you're dealing with highly intelligent people. So these are not dumb asses. These are really smart people.
Meditation for the dumbass. That's my next book.
Meditation for the dumbass. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know where or how it became like this societal thing. I think it's just because of how it looks to someone else outside. If you're watching somebody meditate, you're not in them, so you don't know what's really happening, but you're seeing them in lotus position. They're in hand mudras, and they're really quiet. Their eyes are closed. So people are going to associate that with, oh, that's how I need to be and have to be. And I am here to tell you, no, 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 the smarter you are, the harder it's going to be for you to achieve that. So do not even look at that as your template of what meditation is. Because what I do with the way I teach meditation is to use the body. Because you can't shut off your brain. Do you need to? No, apparently you don't have to, right? And if you were to take electrodes and actually hook somebody up, you can take them to the same brain state without having them look like they are, completely dead to the world, if you want to say it like that. So it's about your focus and your attention, right? So when I'm teaching meditation, I'm teaching people how to breathe. Yep. And I'm teaching them to tap on their body, because what's happening is wherever you place your attention, that's where your life force goes. So mine is with the heart tapping. So if you're touching your heart center here, your brain is literally saying, oh, her fingers are touching her heart center here. So automatically there's a connection, and this is where the focus and attention is going, right? So automatically you're focused.
Yep.
So we're using our body like, okay, so just thinking and sensing and feeling is going to bring you into meditation, because all meditation is focus.
Yep.
And attention and awareness. That's it. So when I'm doing it, I'm having you use your body. That's it. That's all. So you're still getting the same brain state. Yep. You're still having your thoughts, but you're just redirecting your attention. That's all that's happening. But a lot of people don't understand why it's important to meditate. So this is the part that I like to teach.
Yeah.
Also, right? So we have the human, and then we have the soul. Let's make this super easy. The soul, right? If you're a person who wants to be more intuitive or who wants to increase their sensitivity, that means you have to access the soul. So what meditation does is it allows the separation of the human and the soul, so that now the soul becomes more prominent, and your soul can now tell your human, have a conversation with your human, and then your human can live out what the soul told it. But it can kind of only reach that when you're distracting the human so that it can talk to the human. Otherwise, if the human is like fully present, the human's not going to pay attention to the soul. So the reason why you want to meditate is to have a break from your human.
Yeah, that stillness, that spaciousness.
That's the stillness and the spaciousness. Yeah. And you can totally do this if you have anxiety. You could totally do this if you just have to do it differently.
100%.
That's what I tell my clients. It's not that you can't meditate. It's just that you haven't been taught how to meditate differently.
So for you, and I've said that to so many people. Like, you talk to 10 different people, they're going to meditate 10 different ways.
Correct.
And it was very funny when I sat with Adyashanti last month. It's only been a month since I sat with him, which is crazy. He said, we're all just sitting there listening. And he goes, okay, everybody meditate. We're going to meditate now. And everyone does this. And he started to laugh, and he goes, what are you all doing? You're getting ready. I've got to meditate now. And we get in this position. And he laughed. He goes, I've done it thousands of times too. He goes, sit however you're sitting.
Yeah.
You don't have to ready yourself for meditation. Just meditate. And I am not one to do that. Like, I'll keep my feet crossed. I was sitting in the chair, and he's like, let's meditate. And I went, okay. And I see all these people around me, putting their book down and getting their feet on the floor. And I'm just like, oh my God, it actually made me laugh. So that's one of the myths of meditation. Yes. Yeah. Formal seated meditation. They want you in a certain position with your hands a certain way, or, cupped under your sternum so you don't fall asleep. They want your spine straight, your eye, there are rules, but you don't have to do it that way. Yeah. I teach a walking meditation. I teach finger tap meditation. It's so interesting. You go through the body, which would make sense since I'm a dancer. I go through the thoughts. So the way I was taught meditation at Harvard that worked for me, that I now pass on to everybody else, is called the mini meditation, which is where on the inhale you think I am, on the exhale you think at peace. So it shuts the other thoughts out. You concentrate on your breath. We throw in an affirmation of I am at peace, because at some point your body's going to go, oh, okay, I'm at peace. It's gonna try to go
I
for that.
surrender, Dorothy.
I surrender for you. So there's so many different ways to do it. And I had a client, I was trying to help her with time management. And she said, okay, so we're breaking her. I'm like, what do you do? She goes, well, I wake up at 7 and I do a 45-minute meditation. And I went, whoa. She goes, then I do 45 minutes of dance. Then I do breakfast. And like she had 32 hours of shit shoved into the 16 hours she was awake. And I finally said, well, why do you need to meditate for 45 minutes and then dance for 45 minutes? She goes, well, that's how I was taught. I said, okay, but do you want to do that? She goes, no, but that's how I was taught. That's what I was told was right. And I went, but there's no right. So she combined the dance and the meditation into 45 minutes with the two of them. She freed up another 45 minutes in her day. She got everything else aligned. But it was like, we think there's this strictness to, well, that's what I was told that one time. Do it however the fuck you want to do it.
You know where the strictness is? It's in the consistency of doing it every day.
Yeah,
that's where the strictness is. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat and I'm not going to BS this at all. But if you're not going to be consistent with your meditation, even if it's only 5 minutes a day, you're not going to get any benefit. If you're going to do a little bit here, you could do 2 hours on one day and then a month later, 5 minutes. Like there's no benefit. The strictness comes in the consistency of doing it every day. That's where the strictness comes in. But again, it's like the how you do it, it's going to be very individualized in what works for you. Because why would you want to do something that's not working for you? You don't get any benefit from.
Or it's torture.
Or it's torturous.
I've had a client say, okay, I tried to start meditating. And I said, oh, well, tell me how you did that. Oh, I got a pillow and I got a candle and I sat for 20 minutes. And I went, okay, why don't you start with 5? Oh, well, that's so little. I said, I would rather have you do 5 decent minutes than 20 shitty minutes where you're judging yourself and beating yourself up and you feel worse when you're done.
Yeah.
I said, start with 5. I said, are you going to run a marathon tomorrow after you've never put on running shoes? No, that would be stupid. Okay, well then try to meditate for an hour the first time you try.
I give my clients 1 minute to do the heart coherence work, and they time it. They do it three times a day. So it's literally 3 minutes a day. Like there is no excuse.
Do it
the way you create that's what, and I tell them what to do.
Or the shower,
like the
or
shower, or wherever, it's like there's no excuse, because the benefits come with consistency over time. So there has to be commitment to this.
Yes.
But you have to do it in a way that you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. So, but people really, I mean, I get it so much. Like, I can't meditate. I can't, when they want to work with, I can't meditate. I'm like, I guarantee you can. I guarantee you can. And then when we do an actual session together, it's like 20 minutes and they're like, how did I meditate for 20 minutes? I'm like, you did it differently than your expectation of what meditation was supposed to be. And they're like so proud of themselves. And I'm like, yeah, good girl. Like, you could totally do this.
And most of my talks, especially my stress talk, where I actually lead them through the mini meditation. I mean, I'm doing attorneys and nurses and teachers and corporate people who, and I'll say, how many of you, meditate? And like maybe 3 hands go up. How many of you think you can't meditate? And you can see people kind of like, And so I go over my humorous thing about how bad I am at meditation, talking about, the to-do list meditation that I used to do and how all these thoughts intrude and it's a daydream. And I act all that out because it's funny. And then I lead them through the mini and I say, and wasn't that easy? And everyone's like, no, you meditated just now for the first time. And all these hands go up. And it's like, it's this easy, it's simple and easy. The mini is, you could do it in the car. Don't close your eyes. You could do it while you're waiting for a phone call to connect. You could, I do that throughout the day. So I'm going to confess, I've sort of given up my formal seated meditation.
Yeah, same.
Because it wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
But throughout the day, I have contemplative time. I have stillness. I have time in between clients where I take a breath. I have time where I might take some hape, which is a ceremonial South South American tobacco. It's like a snuff, but it's the perfect way to drop into meditation. So I'll do that a couple times a month. So I make it the sort of the ceremony throughout the day as my way of meditation. Or I'll listen to something, like I'll turn on a little quickie Eckhart thing or an Adyashanti thing, and like that's my meditation, is listening to their speaking.
Because meditation is just focus and direction of your attention. That's it. So when you're listening to like an Abraham Hicks thing on YouTube while driving, because that's what I do, you are meditating.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a lot of what we're fighting is perception. That's it. Because obviously, Kathy and I can show you different ways to do this, and you can be totally successful and have the benefits as long as you commit and you have some, structure in terms of consistency. Don't ever think you can't meditate just because it doesn't look like someone sitting in lotus position with your hand mudras, and God forbid you don't have that golden crown around you. I'm kidding. In those images.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm very familiar with I'm very familiar. I was this is for another show, but when I started sitting with Mother Mary, I was given my crown. And the different ceremonies I've done and the different sacred medicine journeys that I've participated in, I've been given different layers of color.
Nice.
On my crown. It's spectacular. With the moo meter.
Woo! I love it.
Cool. All right. I am Kathy Gruver. I can be reached at kathygruver.coach.
And I'm Terrie Huberman. You can catch me at terriehuberman.com. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Intentional Awakening Podcast. We'll see you on our next podcast.